والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. وحي الله تبارك وتعالى الوجوه والخطوات. May Allah Azza wa Jalla bless us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless those steps. May Allah bless our time, and may Allah give us the best of our actions and our deeds and the best of what we hear, inshallah. Allahumma ameen. The last scene. What did come to your mind when I said the last scene in Mashhad al-Akhir? What do you think of? Wafat al-Rasul, the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Day of Judgment. Day of Judgment to people of Jannah. He's talking about the verse he read in the second rak'ah, that people of Jannah, when they ended up there and saying Alhamdulillah, finally no more toil, no more hardship, nothing of that. Did you think of anything else? All right. A little bit of suspense is sometimes good. Al-Mashhad al-Akhir, by that I meant the time of leaving dunya and akhirah, death. Dunya and moving on to al-akhirah. Moving from al-hayat al-dunya towards al-akhirah of death. Wal-mawtu, yani, death is not an easy experience. Al-mawtu babun wa kullu an-nasi dakhilu. This is a door that everybody should enter through. We're not talking about it to talk about scary things, but we're talking about it as a reality and fact that every single person of us, one day, regardless of the age, of the class, of how much knowledge, this and that, we are going to go to it. And the Quran talked about it, and the Prophet ﷺ talked about this in detail. What caught my attention is I watched something yesterday online, and I want you to listen not only by the ears but by the heart right now, and try to visualize that. That is what triggers this idea in my mind. A person is making, it's somewhere in the Gulf, I believe. He had some nice program with some dua ila Allah, some of the shuyukh and mashayikh, big figures in the Muslim Ummah, and he got them into one by one. It was just one person. He got them into the room, and he displayed on a big screen mashhad, a scene. And this scene, it was talking about how, like, people giving tribute to that person as if he's dead. Like this sheikh or this famous person, he is dead. And he is watching now as like an official thing that say, this sheikh, rahimahullah, kana rahimahullah, kada wa kada, he was, may Allah have mercy on him, he was such a good person and he left behind that legacy. It was a surprise for that person that he is watching as if he is dead, and how it will be announced to people, and with no exception, all of them, they were crying. Imagine now, you are getting into you are attending that kind of gathering. Maybe in 2016, inshallah, we start with all the hopes that we will have, inshallah, hayah madida wa umr, yani madid wa amal hasan. Inshallah, we hope that we have long lives and good actions as well. Yet, it's not negative to think of this. It's actually part of our faith, that we have to, accept it as a fact and get ready for it. But what if one of the gatherings in 2016 will be giving tribute to me, to you? Let's leave the sad part of it. What if this is the case? Because in 2015, there were some gatherings that we got together to pay tribute, and attended some gatherings of giving condolences for each other regarding a brother or a sister who happened to be a family member, close or far. That has happened. The only difference is that person is missing, is not here anymore. Now try to imagine that you are attending that gathering where they say, Kana rahimahullah, he was, and mention your name in here, and think about it and visualize it in your mind, such and such. What would people say about you? What would you leave behind in this dunya? And this is the mashhad, the last scene here in life. And actually it will be the first scene from a different perspective, al-mashhad al-awwal fil akhirah, the first scene in al-akhirah. How is that going to be like, this transition? So think about that and live with it, because it's really touching me ever since yesterday. And What if I die now? What if I die in a month or two? What is it that I'm leaving behind that people will remember or talk about? And then talking about the other mashhad. And then I didn't think of anything better than the description. This is ghaib for us, unseen. We don't really know how much in detail is it unless it is for our faith. Our Prophet ﷺ is talking about it, or Allah Jalla is talking about it. And here we are reviewing some of the ahadith and ayat and hadith to talk about this. First of all, why we're talking about it, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam قال أكثروا ذكر هذه اللذات. Remember death, which is the destroyer of al-ladhat, of the desires, which is death. Mention it more often. And that's why we are remembering that in here. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, كما يعني في الحديث, in the hadith, if somebody dies, قال مستريح أو مستراح منه. He either one of two cases. He is either resting in peace, getting rid of the pain of this life, or مستراح منه, like he is getting rest and peace, or he is getting, or people, others are getting in peace and rest from him, that he is gone. First one is the good person, the believer. He is getting out of the ضيق الدنيا, the narrowness of this life, the shackles in this life, and he is getting to the wider kind of life, the bigger form of life. قال مستريح أو مستراح منه يا رسول الله ما المستريح منه يا رسول الله. He said this when he was جنازة funeral. A believing person is actually now in a better place, that he is resting from the pains and from the toil of the dunya. وأذاها إلى رحمة الله, to the mercy of Allah. والعبد الفاجر يستريح منه العباد والبلاد والشجر والدواب. In the other case, العبد الفاجر, the rebellious, bad person, evil person, everything is getting in peace and rest from him. That he is gone right now. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, even the land, even like everybody else, even the shajar, the trees, animals, creatures. Yes, we see that kind of humans, that they destroy the environment. Environment will get in peace, in rest when they leave. أو العباد والدواب, even animals. Some people, even animals will be in rest and in peace when they leave. And talking about the toil, the agony of death, sakaratul maut, it's never easy. It's not easy. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even the best of human beings, he has to go through it. He has to go through it. In a hadith narrated from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that Allah Jalla said to an-nafs, to the soul, come out, ukhruji, come out from the body. قالت لا أخرج إلا كارهة. The only way it could come out is قال اخرجي وإن كرهت. He said you have to leave even by force, even if you hate it. فيعني this soul, spirit leaving the body is not an easy process, and it's going to happen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yassir alayna. Allahumma ameen. Aisha radiallahu anha narrated from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that Allah Jalla says, ما ترددت عن شيء أنا فاعله. Allah is saying, as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is narrating, Allah is saying, I never really hesitate to do something that I'm going to do. ترددي عن قبض نفس عبدي المؤمن. In the same way I hesitate to take and claim the soul of a believing person. قال يكره الموت وأنا أكره مساءته. He hates death, and I hate to bother him. But that's something كتبه الله على العباد. This is something قال ولا بد له منه. It is a must that he should go through. الموت باب وكل الناس داخله. This is a door that everybody should go through. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as he was in death, he was having a pot of water in front of him, rikwatun, and he was literally taken of the water, and he's wiping over his face alayhi salatu wasalam because of the pain that he's going through sallallahu alayhi wasallam. ثم يقول اللهم أعني على سكرات الموت. Oh Allah, help me to go through that sakarat or agony of death. And now we're talking about this crossing point in here. You're leaving al-mashhad al-akhir min al-dunya, the last scene of this al-hayat al-dunya, and receiving the first mashhad of al-akhirah. يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم passing by the qabr, he used to, say, إنه أول منازل الآخرة. This is the first scene, if you like, the first positions of al-akhirah, of the hereafter. Now you see how it is like to see angels. You will see angels. Malakul, you see him. You will see angels of al-hisab that will come and ask you the questions. You will see al-jannah wal-nar. In the hadith, you will see, how is it like? يرى مقعده من الجنة يأتيه ملك معه مطرقة. An angel who will come with a big hammer in his hand, and he say, what do you say about this man, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And if he is a believer, he will attest to the prophecy of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying, أشهد أنه رسول الله كذا بلغ الرسالة. He will say it. You will say, a believer will say that, no hesitation. And then he will say, look, that would have been your position from the hellfire if you, or had you not have faith in him, or had this right faith. ويرى الآن مقعده من الجنة, and he will be made to see his maq'ad, his position from Jannah. You say that's going to be your maq'ad from now on, your place in Jannah. And he will start moving. Imagine first time you see Jannah. You have been working all your life, fasting, controlling yourself, doing everything Allah wants, and staying away from all the haram, attractive things for the sake of Allah. And now for the first time you see Al-Jannah. Imagine after going through all of that, agony of death, leaving the family, you feel it. It's not easy. You're leaving everybody behind. And now this is probably the first of the good things that you see, Al-Jannah. Allah, that's my place in Jannah. And hearing that and seeing that, the person in the hadith, he will kind of jump. And then it will be the angel who will say, Uskun, remain, stay. It's not yet time. It's not yet time. You just now, all you're allowed to do is see, smell. He will be able to smell Al-Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all that. And you have to be there waiting until the day of judgment. So this is again al-mashhad al-akhir wal-mashhad al-awwal. The long hadith of Al-Bara ibn Azib radiyallahu anhu, قال خرجنا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, they were with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم in janazah for one of the Ansar, and he described, he gave a full description. Go ahead and read the hadith. It has all the details. When the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who was making the dafn, the burial, he was putting the person in the grave. During this process, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is talking to the Sahaba, giving them maw'idha, and he said, وما عود ينكت به في الأرض فبكى حتى بل الثرى. He was crying sallallahu alaihi wasallam and shedding tears, and tears were coming down. And he said, he gave full description. قال استعيذوا بالله من عذاب القبر. استعيذوا بالله, ask protection with Allah from the punishment of the grave. And then he said, إن العبد المؤمن إذا كان في انقطاع من الدنيا, when it's time for the believing person at the end, the last scene of his life, في انقطاع من الدنيا, few seconds and he would leave. وإذا كان في انقطاع من الدنيا وإقبال على الآخرة من الآخرة نزل إليه ملائكة الرحمة. Last scene of الدنيا and first scene of الآخرة, for a believer, تنزل عليه ملائكة الرحمة. Angels of mercy will come to him, which is the ayah in Surah Fussilat, إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة. Indeed, those who said our Lord is Allah, they announce the faith. ثم استقاموا, they do the action, they remain steadfast on the faith. مقتضيات هذا الإيمان, whatever comes with that faith, تتنزل عليهم الملائكة, and then angels will come to them. Angels of rahmah. ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا. ألا تخافوا, do not be worried, scared of the future. It's all good things. Give glad tidings. ولا تحزنوا, and do not be sad about what you're leaving behind, kids, family, and all of these. وأبشروا, and give glad tidings بالجنة, of the Jannah, the paradise or heaven, التي كنتم توعدون, that you were promised. نسأل الله أن يرزقنا جميعا ذلك. الملائكة بيض الوجوه كأن وجوههم الشمس, معهم كفن حريرة بيضاء من أكفان الجنة وحنوط من حنوط الجنة. They have a lot of things from Jannah. In the world, in this life in here, we use the kafan, which is usually white, for the body, but the soul is going to be dealt with by the angels. We are dealing with the body in here, making salah for the person, but actually it will be angels who are giving ghusl and takfeen and all of that. معهم حنوط, they have this kind of perfume from Jannah, this kafan or coffin, or you can imagine how soft and how it will be like, and they will put it in there. يجلسون منه مد البصر, sitting all around him to the extent of his eyesight. قال حتى ثم يجيء ملك الموت. That's before that. The last or minute before his death. قال حتى يجلس عند رأسه. He will come all the way to sit close to his head. اخرجي أيتها النفس الطيبة. Saying in a nice tone, nice words. Come out النفس أيتها النفس الطيبة. Oh good soul, come out. Come out smoothly and easy. Come out. قال فيقول اخرجي أيتها النفس الطيبة كانت في الجسد الطيب. You used to be in this good body. اخرجي حميدة. Come out. You're praiseworthy. You're praiseworthy. You are now. It's time to be proud of yourself. Hamida, all praise is yours now. Like angels are praising you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting to honor you in Illiyin. قال اخرجي راضية مرضيا عنك. Come out. You are pleased and you are pleased with. قال اخرجي إلى مغفرة من الله ورضوان. That's a collection of different narrations of the hadith. Come out to forgiveness and pleasure from Allah. وأبشري بروح وريحان. And give the glad tidings of all of these kind of smell from Jannah. وَرَبٍّ غَيْرِ غَضْبَانٍ. And your Lord is not angry with you. فَلَا يَزَالُ يُقَالُ لَهَا ذَلِكَ حَتَّى تَخْرُجْ. And it will be, the angels will keep saying that and repeating it in a nice word until the soul will come out. قَالَ تَخْرُجُ تَسِيلُ كَمَا تَسِيلُ الْقَطْرَةُ مِنْ فِي السِّقَاءِ. It will come as easy as a drop of water comes out of the mouth of a water skin. Like you have a bottle of water and you open it and just drop will come out so easy, so simple for the Muslim. The last thing, sakaratul maut, which is before pain, that is like delivery. But then the minute it comes out, it's coming really easy for the believing person. قال ثم يجعلونها قال فإذا أخذها لم يدعوها في يده طرفة عين. When he takes and claims the soul, it's not going to stay in his hand for even a twinkling of an eye, not even a moment, and it will be taken away. حتى إنه ليناول بعضهم بعضا. All of the angels are handling it. ثم يجعلونها في ذلك الكفن. To put it where it belongs, something from Jannah. To touch, the first thing it will touch, reassurance from Jannah. You can, لو أن قطرة, that's the hellfire والعياذ بالله. If something come from Jannah in the same way, from Jannah, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam one day is praying Salatul Istisqa, asking for rain. And then he was scratching, he was stretching his hand. In the Salah, one time, another time, Hadith Sahih Muslim. And then the Sahaba after the Salah, they said, Ya Rasulullah, you did something in Salah that was kind of strange. What did you do? قال رفعت لي. He said, I have seen عنقودا من عناقيد الجنة. It's like kind of a cluster of grapes from Jannah. والله لو يعني by Allah, if I get the chance to get it, لأكلتم منه ما بقيت الدنيا. If I get this cluster, just a few grapes, عنقود من العنب, it would have been sufficient for you to eat of it to the end of life. Sahaba or the entire world eating from that simple few grapes of Jannah. That's how blessed is what's coming from Jannah. So you could imagine what is the hanun, what is the rih, what is the smell, the kafir from Jannah, the kafir from Jannah. All of that will be the first thing to touch the soul. And now they forget everything behind. People are crying and or making salah. Or he doesn't really, he's not there. He's been handled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and by the angels taken to Al-Jannah. قال حتى ينتهوا بها فيتلقاها ملكان يصعدانها حتى ينتهوا بها إلى باب. Two angels will take it fast up high all the way until there is a door, which is a door for السماء الدنيا. يستفتحون, asking permission to open. They will keep rising and going up السماء الدنيا, the second layer of the sky. All of these, all during that process, they are calling it with the best of names. You like to be called doctor, you'll be called doctor. You like to be called sheikh, you'll be called. You like to be called whatever the best name title you want to go by, you will be called by this name. بأحسن أسمائه التي كانوا يسمونه بها في الدنيا فيقال مرحبا بالنفس الطيبة. Welcome, good soul كانت في الجسد الطيب. See the welcome from the beginning all the way through. يقولون صلى الله عليك وعلى جسد كنت تعمرينه. In another hadith, Allah like kind of blesses you and blesses the body you were inhabiting, like you were there in it. ادخلي حميدة وأبشري بروح وروحان ورب. That happened in the beginning and it's happening again. ويشيعه من كل سماء مقربوها إلى السماء التي تليها. From each sky, we know the residents of the skies or those layers of heavens are angels. Angels. the best of the angels, the leaders of the angels of this sky. You know, when somebody is visiting from one country to the other, it depends how important is that person. If he is a minister, they will send a minister at his degree, at his level. If he's a president, they will send a president. So they will send the best of all the angels in this sky, مُقَرَّبُوهَا. They will receive him and kind of escort him to the next sky. And this is what the believing person is going to receive the first minute. Almost he just died like a few seconds ago, and that's what's happening. فقال حتى يصل فيقول الله إلى رب العزة جل وعلا فينطلق به إلى ربه. He will be taken all the way to Allah. And this is the muwajaha, or the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No hisab yet. It is just your abd, ya Allah, is now due, and his soul is here. That's the believer. قال فينتهى حتى ينتهى به إلى السماء السابعة فيها الله عز وجل فينطلق به إلى ربه عز وجل فيقول الله عز وجل اكتبوا كتاب عبدي في عليين. Put the record of my abd, of my servant, the name in عليين, in the highest of levels. وأعيدوه إلى الأرض. It's not yet time. He has to go down to earth. فإني منها خلقتهم وفيها أعيدهم ومنها أخرجهم تارة أخرى. He has to go back because they were created from it, and they have to go back to it, and they have to come out from it when it's time to do so. فتعاد روحه في جسده. There will be some kind of relationship between the soul and the body. That probably give us a tafsir why when we go to visit the grave and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us, say salam, salamu alaykum ya ahl al-diyar. It's not like they are residing there, but there is some kind of connection. Some scholars, the Imam Ibn Qayyim في كتاب الروح يصف ذلك يعني بالتفصيل. It's somehow to make it easy for us to understand, like the connection between you when you are awake, and then when you are asleep. When you are asleep, you are not dead, but the soul is somewhere. It's still connected to the body, but not in full connection. So it's something similar to that. That he can still, there is some kind of connection between them. And then the description of the other way around, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, he would remain there until the day of judgment, being able to see al-Jannah, al-Bab الذي فتح له إلى الجنة, being أنيس وجليس عمله الصالح, having somebody to sit with him, which is his good deeds of, there, just enjoying the time there, the waiting time until the day of judgment. And he couldn't even wait. He was, from the beginning, he was jumping to get to al-Jannah, but he was told that no, you can't do that right now. The other way around, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, I don't want to describe it. It's going to be the opposite, the ultimate opposite, from beginning to the end. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. The angels, they look, their faces are terrifying, and they will claim his soul in the harshest way, and they will put it in something from the hellfire, al-kafan, from the fire, and this from the fire. And you can imagine how, terrified will be the person in that soul, and he will be rejected, taken to the first level of the sky, just to give it to Allah. That's the creator of it. It will be even rejected, not going beyond the first sky. And at this point, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam recited the ayah, إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. Indeed, those who denied our ayat and grow arrogant to accept them, لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء. The doors of the sky will not be open to them. That's for angels, good people. It's not for you. They will be shut in their face. ولا يدخلون الجنة. They will never make it to al-Jannah. حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. Until a camel will go through the eye of a needle. That's something impossible. If that happens, they will make it to Jannah, which is impossible. They will not make it. So this is a quick, shot in here. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us about the last scene and the beginning, the last scene from a dunya and the first scene of al-akhirah. That is something that nobody likes, actually. Nobody likes, but it is haqqun ala kulli insan. It is haqq that will happen to every person. And again, I remind you with what I started with. Imagine like this program that got those people, and he showed them, without them knowing, he showed them a tribute that's given to them as if they are dead right now. Now we're talking about leaving. What are you leaving behind? What will people say? What will your family say? What will your children say about you after you leave? What kind of impact you will leave behind, legacy that you will leave behind in here? That's a question that we need to ask ourselves, again, because death comes, it may come suddenly without even any, muqaddimat or introduction to it. It might happen like this. Imam Bukhari, one of the pious people, ulama, and he died suddenly. It can happen to anybody, and we see it now, subhanallah, nowadays happening to young people, old people. That is something that we really need to be ready for in any action, in any saying that we see right now. So when it is this time that we all are going to live, it's not far. Allahu a'lam. It could be far, still far ahead. But even if you're talking about decades, or it's gonna come. ولو عمر الإنسان عمر نوح عليه السلام. Even if a person lives like Sayyidina Nuh عليه السلام, he should die. حتى سيدنا Isa, even he's alive right now. He didn't die. He was taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بل رفعه الله إليه. He would come down to earth at the end of the time, and he shall die. He get married and everything, lead a normal life, and then he should die, because everybody shall die, even Malakul Maut. Malakul Maut in the other hadith, day of judgment, after that's the end of everybody. Who is remaining? Jibreel, Mikael, this and that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking angel of death, take their soul. And then who is remaining after taking the souls of everybody? It's only Malakul Maut. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول مُتْ يا ملك الموت. Now it's time for you, angel of death, that you shall die. And Malakul Maut shall die. والله تبارك وتعالى يقول لمن الملك اليوم. Now, أين الجبارون؟ أين المتكبرون? Where are those tyrants? Where are those arrogant people? لمن الملك اليوم? To whom the kingdom belongs today? No answer, because nobody is alive to answer. And then Allah will answer, الملك اليوم لله الواحد القهار. Kingdom today belongs to Allah, the one and only, the unique القهار, the subduing, the one who subdued everybody. قهر الله عز وجل بالموت يعني جباه الجبابرة جميعا. Nobody except that he is under this power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he will one day leave this life. What will come with you at the end, at the last scene, is يخرج فيتبعه أهله وماله وعمله. His family, your family members, will go to you at this last scene. وماله, family, your kind of property is going, depends how much, janaza you will have. That's a reflection of how much you give. وعمله, and your action will also go with you. But then moving from this last scene of the dunya, moving on to the first scene of al-akhirah, what's going to go through with you is only one of those three friends. As in one hadith said, ثلاثة أخلاء, three friends will go with you, that they will accompany, companions, they were there always with you. So two of them will remain behind, that's أهله وماله, your family members and your property, that's behind. Behind, you can't take anything through except what you did. ويبقى عمل, and only the deeds, only the actions will be able to go with you through that kind of two-dimension thing, difference between hayat al-dunya and hayat al-barzakh. Only the amal, the action is what's going to remain with the person. Yarhamukallah. And one thing that we conclude by, inshallah, one mashhad after the last scene in the beginning, how the person is staying there in al-qabr. Is it really long? For a believing person, it's not that long, but it's a waiting time. حديث عن جابر رضي الله عنهما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخل الميت القبر مثلت له الشمس عند غروبها. When a person is in his grave, he will sometimes be able to see the sun as if it's sitting right now, and he will be فيجلس يمسح عينيه يقول دعوني أصلي, as if he will cry and he will say, leave me, I need to pray. Like he was keen to pray in time, and now it's Asr time is up, I need to catch Salatul Asr. Yani kind of, as if he's alive, but it's no more. So if he's a true believer, he would say, دعوني أصلي, let me pray. Actually in Jannah too, when inshallah we go there, the believers go there, everybody would kind of visualize, like, in one day, الصحابة, they said, يا رسول الله, when we are in Jannah, يعني قال أترد علينا عقولنا. Actually, they ask him, when we are in the qabr, in the grave first, أترد علينا, would be able to, is it the same level of after seeing all of that intimidation and the scary things, will be in a full mental capacity, we're able to understand what's going on. And قال نعم كهيئتكم اليوم. It is just exactly like you right now. It's going to be you with all your mental capacities as you are right now. That's how you will be. When Umar radiallahu anhu, he heard that, and the Nabi was talking about Fattan al-Qubur, the person who will come, the angels who will come, and he will be kind of tested, talking very harsh, even to the believer in the beginning. What would you say about this man? What's your religion? What's your Lord? Then the Nabi is talking about him, hadith sahih, and somebody asked him, will be like as we are right now, being able to answer, قال كهيئتكم, just like you are right now. Umar radiallahu anhu قال بفيه الحجر. All he's going to get from me is I'm going to give him a stone in his mouth. That doesn't scare me. Like, you definitely give him the answer, but he's kind of saying, that doesn't scare me. I'm ready for it. رضي الله عنه ونسأل الله جل لنا ولكم الرحمة ولمن سبق ويعني الرحمة ولمن بقي التوفيق في العمل إن شاء الله. Do you have anything to share as far as the last scene and the first scene?
Whenever they ask the question, what's your Lord and what's your religion, is it before you go up or before?
Very good question. It looks like that is going to happen right when the person dies. The soul will, the two angels will take it and go past, and then he will come down, to rest in the grave, and then in nafs, the soul will come there and start the process of. It's not hisab, but it's just you will get an idea of what's going to happen. So after he comes down, all of that is going to come in very short time.
What's the reason behind speeding up the burial?
Speeding up, okay. This is
passes away and they want to bury him before Salat tomorrow.
right. One of them is that process in here. It has different dimensions. Talking about the body dimension, the more you leave the body in here, you could imagine it will change. The smell will change. Things like that. You don't want this to happen. It's kind of more respectful to the body to do it as fast as possible, even if you're keeping it in a what do you call it, الثلاجة هذه. The person is somehow is feeling it in a way or another. It's not very from our legacy and our Islam that even when we are washing the body, we should just make sure as if you are taking shower. It shouldn't be too hot, it shouldn't be too cold. You are dealing with somebody who is, even though just the body is dead, you have to be respectful to it. So do it fast because it's sutra lil mayyit. More you keep it, it's going to be more agony and grief for the family. And the hisab is not going to, all of that process is not going to start until they take it to the grave and all of that, because it has to do with the grave. And then the scholars also talk about what if he was eaten by a siba or something. What is if he died was lost, the body is not even found. The process is going to happen, but that's the normal thing that will happen to people in the grave. But if somebody happened to be not graved or not, body is gone somehow, the same process is going to happen. And even the concept of time is gone. Time is here. What's time? Time is Earth is revolving around itself. That's one day. Earth is gone. All of that is gone. Concept of time itself is simply gone. You don't go by years and seconds. That's only for us people here in dunya. Not even in dunya, in Earth. Because if you go to the moon, the day is different. The count is different. Allahu Akbar. Anybody has anything to share, inshallah? Did anybody see some of us salihun or the righteous people when they die and how they look like? If you like to share with us, anybody has anything like that and wants to share, be bushra, inshallah. I see you smiling with Abu Ubaidah. Without names or anything, but have you seen a face of somebody who's dying?
So somebody was buried. He was talking to his people. He was physician asking, he was smiling and asking him. This physician asked him, do you know me? I said, Ahmad, you think? So he was and then he said, and he was buried.
He said the shahada at this time. رحمه الله ونسأل الله أن يثبتنا وأن يحسن ختامنا اللهم آمين.
that, you see that people like it, you see that.
رحمة الله على الجميع. اللهم آمين. ونسأل الله التثبيت إن شاء الله. So see, my brothers, this is what we are going to take from this dunya, inshallah, is the amal. And this last scene, we are going to live it or go through it, and inshallah, it will become easy on us. But we really need to remember that. Remember that one day, يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين, a day that all people will come back to, they will stand up, resurrected for Rabb al-Alamin. It's really something that's worthy reflection, that we need to reflect. Look at our time, how much is gone covered behind, how much Allahu A'lam is remaining. And we shouldn't be scared of death. Yes, it's not easy, but inshallah, if we are ready enough for it, welcome at any time it can come. And Umar radiallahu anhu, because he's ready. He's gonna scare me, I'm gonna just give him the. That's how strong, inshallah, you will be like, and being dealt with like kings, inshallah, or queens. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى الرحمة ونسأل الله حسن الخاتمة. اللهم آمين. جزاكم الله خيرا، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جزاك الله خير.